First look at Lineage OS 18 based on Android 11 running on the Redmi K20 Pro or the Xiaomi Mi 90 Pro. Hey peeps, what's up? Munchie here, back with another video, and guess what? We have our first build of Lineage OS 18 running on the Redmi K20 Pro or the Xiaomi Mi 90 Pro. Right off the bat, you will notice that the security patch is from October 5th, 2020. The kernel they are using is perf kernel, and the FOD implementation being used on this build is from the Xiaomi Mi 9, and this is using the MIUI vendor as well. In terms of what is working and what is not working, most of your hardware including Volt and voice over Wi-Fi are working absolutely fine. The only issue right now is WFD or Wi-Fi direct. The other thing is that you do not have the Android 11 Cats game from the Android 11 Easter egg, and that is because this is an initial build and I'm pretty sure they're going to add it down the line. Next up, the build does not come with Google Apps baked in. However, I have flashed Nix Google Apps, the macro build, and they are working absolutely fine. As you can see, I do have Pixel Launcher in the building. Everything is super fast and super smooth. And this is how your recents are going to look like. Tap on select, bam, the text is highlighted and selected, and now you can copy, paste, share, search, do whatever you want to do. In case you want to take a screenshot from your recents, tap on screenshot, bam, screenshot taken successfully. Want to share it, tap on share. You can see the applications which will let you share the screenshot now, and in case you want to pin any application, press and hold, bam, pin Bluetooth. There it is. Bluetooth is now the first option, and you can also see the pin icon besides the B. Next up, we can have a look at the volume panel. So this is how your volume panel looks like. You can also change the ringer modes by tapping on the icon on the top, and the icon you see on the bottom is to enable or disable live caption. Next up, we can have a look at your quick setting tiles, and if you swipe down, you will see that you do have the blur and zoom effect from Android 11 working absolutely fine. These are your quick setting tile options which you get, and you also have a screen recorder baked in. So let us try that out, and do note that the Android 11 screen recorder does let you record device audio and microphone at the same time. However, let us check if there is any lag in the UI or not. Well, this is very surprising. This might very well be the first Android 11 build which I have personally tried, wherein the system does not get laggy or jittery when you start the screen recorder. So I am already impressed with this Lineage OS 18 build. Next up, we can also have a look at the other quick setting tiles which you can add. So tap on the edit icon, and here are your other quick setting tiles which are available. So you have dark theme, ambient display, AOD, the caffeine tile is there, system profiles, sync, volume panel. Oh my god, this is like some pretty quick work by the developers over at Lineage OS. Next up, we can go into settings and have a look at the Wi-Fi options. So go into Wi-Fi, select your Wi-Fi name, select it one more time. You have the option to disconnect, tap on advanced. You also have the option to enable or disable auto connect on a per Wi-Fi basis. Moving over to apps and notification, see all applications. Let us go into, say, the camera application, permissions, and as you can see, you have a toggle to remove the permissions if the app isn't used for some time. And if you tap on any of the permissions, let's try location, you have three options: allow only while using the application, ask every time, and deny all the time. So these are some of the new things which have been added with Android 11. And while you're still in, say, the application, so we can go into browser and we can go into mobile data and Wi-Fi. You will see you have toggles to enable or disable data access for Wi-Fi, cellular data, background data, and VPN data as well. Next up, if you are on the home page of apps and notifications, you do have priority conversations working absolutely fine. Tap on notifications, enable notification history, and bam, there it is, notification history. You can also access your notification history from the notification shade as well. Here it is, history, and it is going to take you to your notification history. Then you also have bubbles or floating icons, this also works absolutely fine. Going back into settings, we can go into battery. You do have thermals, and these are the different thermal configurations you can choose on a per app basis. Next up, you also have battery manager, and you also have battery light. So once you enable this toggle, you also have a toggle to enable or disable the battery light. And in case of the Redmi K20 Pro, it would be the LED notification light on top of the camera here. So this is going to pulse if your battery is low. Then we can jump over to display. So in display you do have dark theme, and yes, with Android 11 you can turn on and off your dark theme at a custom time. And in case you want a pure black background dark theme, you have a toggle for that as well. Next up, you have adaptive brightness, works absolutely fine. And you also have live display. You can configure your colors, RGBs, working absolutely fine. You can configure your hue, saturation, and contrast. There it is. You can see this option is also working absolutely fine. And in case you want to go back to your default settings, you have the reset option on the bottom left as well. Go into styles and wallpapers. You have three different options. So first up, you have the wallpapers. Then you have style. So herein you can create your custom themes. Let us create one. So these are the different font options. You have four options. For the icons, unfortunately you have only one option. The accent color options, you have multiple accent color options, but unfortunately you do not have a RGB picker. For your icon shapes you do have multiple options. Let us try the teardrop one, and of course you can give it a custom name in case you want to. And there it is, you can see teardrop icons with orange accent colors applied successfully. Going back into styles and wallpapers, we also have clock. So you have four different clock options. Let us apply the type one, tap on apply, and now we can lock our device. There it is, you can see it was applied successfully, and here it is. FOD also works absolutely fine. It is in fact blazing fast on this build. Then you can configure your screen timeout and screen attention as well. Do note that screen attention is going to use the front camera, so whatever time you have chosen in screen timeout, after that duration the front camera will pop up. There it is, 15 seconds since I have been babbling, so the front camera popped out, checked if anybody is looking, and if somebody is looking your device will not lock. Then you can configure your colors, natural, boosted, and adaptive. Change the font size, display size, configure your full screen applications. Go into lock screen. You can configure media cover art, music visualizer for the lock screen. In case you want to see the lockdown option, then you can configure your FOD animation effect. Right now we have blue fireworks. Let us now try out the McLaren one. So here it is, AOD working absolutely fine. Bam, McLaren effect also works like a boss. In case you want to disable AOD, you have a toggle for that as well. And you also have ambient display settings, which is your hand wave, pocket, and pickup. Now playing does not work, the option just crashes for now. Other than that, in display you also have double tap to wake, double tap to sleep, wake on plug, and yes, DC dimming is present on this build. So let us turn off the device and double tap to wake. There it is, working like a boss, and I am seriously super impressed with the FOD on this build. One thing I would like to check is, let us say I reduce the brightness. So 0% brightness, and okay. So even if your brightness is 0%, let me first turn off adaptive brightness, and now let us make it 0, right? And lock the device. The screen is locked. You might not be able to see it, but I am. And now let us try the FOD. Yup, it works absolutely fine. Let me increase the brightness. There it is. Sorry about my camera equipment moving around. Let me fix that. Fixed. So yes, the FOD does work at 0 display brightness as well, which I think is pretty impressive. What do you peeps think about it? Do let me know via comments below. Next up, we can go into sound. So you have the option of linking and unlinking your ring and notification volumes with this toggle. In case you want increasing ring volume, you have a toggle for that as well. And once that is enabled, you can configure your start volume and the ramp up time using the sliders below that option. Other than that, you also have Dirac sound enhancer along with hi-fi effect as well. Nothing much to talk about in storage, privacy, and location. And of course, I did forget something. Going back into sound, advanced, you do have Android 11 Do Not Disturb, which can be configured on a people basis, app basis, and alarm basis as well. You also have live caption, works absolutely fine. We are going to have a small demo of that later in this video. Then we can go into security. So yes, you do have screen lock. We already tested out FOD or fingerprint on display. It is pretty impressive and pretty fast. You do not have face unlock on this build, unfortunately. And next up we can go into system, and in system you have the option of buttons. So this is your Lineage OS customizations. In case you want to invert the layout of the navigation bar, you have a toggle for that. Edge long swipe action, I did try this, it's not working for me, but yes, the option is there. You can configure your power menu, and as you can see, I do have airplane mode option, and if I tap on the three dot menu, I also get the emergency option, and screenshot option is also there, and these are the options which I have enabled. Then you can choose to end your current call by pressing the power button. Long press for torch with the screen off. So screen is off, long press power button. There it is, torch was activated. Long press it one more time, torch was turned off. Then in case you want to use the volume rockers to wake your device, you have a toggle for that. You can also use your volume rockers to answer a call, control music playback by long press of the volume rockers when the screen is turned off, keyboard cursor control for your volume buttons, reorient them when the screen is rotated, and in case you want to see the volume panel on the left for some reason, you have a toggle for that as well, and as you can see, it does work absolutely fine. Then you can configure your front camera effects, so you can enable or disable the front camera LED. You can also configure the front camera sound effects. Next up, you do have system profiles. So let's say you want to turn your Wi-Fi on based on a specific location. You can configure that over here. This is something which was added with Android 10. Then you can configure your status bar. So you have quick pull down. Do you want it off, right, or left? I have set it as right. Swipe down from the right. There it is. Expanded panel. Swipe down from the left, the panel is not expanded. Then you can configure your quick setting tile columns. I have set it as 4. We can change it to 6. Swipe down, bam, 6 quick setting tile icons in the building. You can also configure your network traffic monitor, and as you can see, I have it enabled, works absolutely fine. What all icons you want to see in your status bar, toggles for all those options. And a pretty nifty feature for AMOLED panels is display burn-in protection. You can configure your clock position in case you want to see the seconds. You have a toggle for that as well. You want to see the AM PM, toggle for that as well. Then you have your battery status style, 3 options: icon, portrait, circle, and text. And then you also have a brightness slider configuration for your quick settings panel. Here it is, mine is set to always on. So this is the slider, and this is the button they're talking about, the auto brightness button. And in case you want to swipe from your status bar to configure the brightness, you have a toggle for that as well. Moving over to gestures and system navigation, you have two options: Android 10 full screen gestures or the old school 3-button navigation. If you are using the Android 10 gestures, tap on settings. You can configure the sensitivity for the left and the right edge. Then you have 3-finger screenshot as well. Here it is, enabled and working like a boss. Next up, we can check for safety net. So my device is not rooted right now. However, I do have Magisk Manager installed to check for safety net, and let us check for safety net. As you can see, safety net is failing out of the box. However, once you root your device and enable Magisk Hide, things might be different, and maybe safety net passes. And if safety net passes, you should be able to use your banking apps without any issues. Then we can check for YouTube application to see if there are any playback issues or not. So here it is, YouTube application. Let me minimize the volume so that I do not get a copyright strike, and let us play this. and we can also maximize it. So yes, your pinch and zoom is working absolutely fine. Live caption also works. And let me now try to say check out for the picture in picture mode. So here it is. Picture in picture mode is working absolutely fine. You can of course resize this picture in picture with Android 11. There it is, works absolutely fine. And now we can close this. We can next up check for the media controls in your quick settings panel. Here it is. Let me play this piece of music. It is of course playing on my Bluetooth speaker right now. And yep, in case you want to switch your media output, all you need to do is tap on the name, and now I can choose phone speaker, and there it is. You can now listen that the output is now playing from my phone, and in case I want to move back to my Bluetooth speaker, just tap on it one more time. And yes, live caption works with offline playback as well. So what is the final take on this build? Me personally, I am super impressed with this first Lineage OS 18 build. As you can see, everything is super fast, super smooth. You can also check out my Google feed. There it is. No jitters, no lags. I mean, pretty impressive for a first build, and hats off to the developers over at Lineage OS for giving us this build and adding features on top of Android 11 so quickly and so fast. So there it is, peeps. That was our first look at Lineage OS 18 based on Android 11 running on the Redmi K20 Pro or the Xiaomi Mi 90 Pro. And that will do it for this video. Hope my video helped you. Likes, shares and subscribes are appreciated. Feedback and comment more than welcome. See you when I see you.